Oh, everybody, it's me. Who do you think? The one and only Taxman Show. Here we go. Johnny John, hello, brother. Talk amongst yourselves there. That's good to see. Paul Cresswell. I hope you're okay. I'm very, very good. A little bit tight on the right side. Did some squats. No squats last night. What I done, I've changed around. So I did leg extensions and leg biceps. I did 25 leg extension, 25 leg extension, and 50. Pardon me, and 50 leg extension straight off. So it was like 100 reps, and then I did 30 squats just onto the bed. So my legs were on fire. Then I went to the top of the stairs and did another 20 where you can squat all the way down on the pole. So yeah, 180 reps, I think it was all in. So definitely getting better. With movement, everything coming on, my hands, all that, the neck and everything's moving brilliant now. It's still tight the hand, but that tightness is coming back with just boom, boom, boom. Mr. Boil's head would come off like a little baby. Run like a little girl, hiding in the house from the big bad wolf. Knock at the door, little piggies, let me in, let me in. No, you're going to kill me. Okay, now he's obsessed, isn't he? Mental. So now we've attacked his little cretin twice. His little cretin, I won't mention his name. The little cretin I've attacked twice, but no place at the door again. It's all shite. Just bleh, diarrhea every day. Scotty 1994. Johnny Jump. So you don't need drugs, Jamie, to enjoy yourself. You can just enjoy yourself without drugs. 4 year clean on the 21st of September. Nearly there. 4 fucking year, not a thing apart from meds what I've had off the hospital and stuff. But yeah, you don't need drugs. No alcohol. I've had, tell you a lie, I've had a few alcohol. I've had probably about 6 shots in 2.5 years, maybe 10 from telling a lie. Most I've ever had is like 2, 1.5 to 2. Little shots with them near Christmas time and that. It doesn't bother me. I've never been a drinker really. Right, back to the people. And thank you. The hair in my nose in there. Just because when you look, you feel something. I've got one there. I used to get one on my face. I know the hair comes out there. A rogue hair they call it, don't they? Like a rogue. Fucking rogue, you little fat cunt. You know what that is you're on about, don't you? Not the neighbours next door, believe me. Yes, so a needle throwing thread, whack, I'm knocking off your fucking head. And that will take you back to You've ran away. Little piggy, come back and stay. Running through the fucking house and leaving your wife and kid downstairs screaming. It wasn't the IRA, it was the RAC, the fucking royal thingy, or the AA. RAC, I'm going to fix your tyre. IRA, he just makes things up. So he pretended it was the IRA's fucking delusional. Ball! Irish Ball, my little son, how are you doing? Been to Carl walk this morning. Lovely lads, Carl. Lovely kid, lump a bit Irish Ball. Thumbs up for the Ball. Sorry, I wasn't on Sun yesterday. Your show, I was fucking wiped out, mate. Spasms in my right side here. You've got your obliques down here, your intercostals in between them. And Big Pat Robinson stuck by us. Well, all of them stuck by us. Not one of these have left my side. And when I'm there, tears in my eyes, which I've got some quite a lot of times for the pain. It's fucking horrendous. You know, if you get your hand trapped in a door, that's what it's like. But then it's like somebody closed the door on your hand and keep your hand in the door and you can't get it out. It's just like, when you have a toothache, it goes boom, boom. The cartoons anymore. Beep go, ah! And you're screaming, there's a big like boom, boom, boom. The thumb goes massive. It's like that. It's like every time your heart beats. So It's like my hands going boom, boom. It doesn't go. And you hit the side of the bed and you're tapping the thing, keep poor Emma away in the middle of the fucking night because your blood's constricted tight. So my cousin now with Chantal, she's a lovely lass. She's all that stuff, like massage. So she's going to start doing that to me. She says, I'm going to break it up so it's tight in your back, so it'll make the blood flow better, and you'll have a better flow, and then that'll help to heal the injury. She said you should have had all these physios. They're disgusting, that North East. It's absolutely disgusting. I told her about the nurse and all the stuff. Can't believe it. She said absolutely disgraceful what they've done. Alison Smith, poor soul, him and Bri, pal, he needs saving. Yeah, he does need saving. We've tried everything, Alison. We've tried everything. We've had our church leaders go and see them. And when they've come away, they've still been, please, they're bullying us, help us, please, and all that on their hands and knees and everything. Then they've come back here, and then when he's come back, and how your plan didn't work, and by the time our church leaders come back, we're calling us all sorts of stuff, saying, we've just conned your leader, we've just done this, but they didn't know he was coming back to us. When he looked at it, remember he'd made him a sandwich and a cup of coffee. He went, I can't even eat that sandwich. It was a hamburger, and he's a lovely lad. He couldn't believe it. He says, the only thing I can say about them two, they're definitely demonic. And everyone else who knows them, they're demonic. They definitely need sections. You see, the thing is, when I say to people, look, I can only help you if you're on drugs. You've got to be 100% honest with me. Whatever you tell me stays with me. I won't go around saying, he said this and he said that. I don't do that. I've got thousands of people off drugs over the years. I'm not just on about now. I'm on about all the years and years before. I used to have my door up on a Friday and Saturday in the garage, and people would come and talk to me who had problems, and it was like a fucking doctor's surgery. I've helped people all my life. And I said to him when he was on it, he said, I can't get off them. I said, listen, I was on them for ages, Jamie. I said, all you got to do, you've got to really want to get off them. Use something for like scope, like to say, I'm going to make my dad proud, I'm going to make my mum, I'm going to make my son proud. Use that. Stop using what people do is they'll go and they're on drugs and they'll come off 3 or 4 days and think, no, I've done it. And now I'll have a little bit, I'll have a bit now, and then you're back on it. So you can't do that. Darling Delights, Big Pat Robinson, the Irish Board, Opinion Glaswegian, come on the jocks. Hangman, Adults, Glaswegian. Rob, hello Robson. Great lad that Rob, brilliant kid. Freedom, you're back. You can take a lease, but you'll not take a freedom. I'm fucking crackers, aren't I? I am crackers. There's no doubt. I need fucking suits there certifying. Probably getting the same sales as him. Subaru guy, hello. Subaru, good them car, fucking fast. Really expensive. Graham, Cormac. Johnny Jump, Bend Over. Evening, right, Emma and Bobby, Eli, and fans. UK Don. Is that you, Don? Been with Don all day on the phone. He's fucking hilarious. Had a good laugh. Been all over, been shopping, been to Kentucky, been to doctors, been to the Tesco's, been to Aldi's, been to a shop to get some soil for the back garden for Eli. Keeps digging holes. I think he's a fucking miner, I think. It's not like Australia on there, so there's no gold in there. Just worms and stuff. Might find a few bodies though at the bottom. Yeah. Red McCormick, yes. So yeah, getting back to the who's that? Off, yeah. You've got to be off at Bull. You've got to be fucking mad as a fucking hatter. The best way to be if you're mad and you do daft things and have a laugh and joke and be funny and have a laugh at people and you get on in life, your life's a better life. And she said that about me, and he said that about. Who gives a fuck? No one gives a fuck. He said, she said, he said, she said, she said, he said, she said, she said. Who gives a shit? It's what counts in your own house and your family and that. If your wife's calling you, and your family and your loved ones and people you love and people who are friends of yours, it doesn't matter what the scumbags are saying about you. It's what the good people are saying. Weird City, thank you, brother. Love you all the bits. Going slip first round. With City, I don't use her involved. Right. Okay. Fucking Twilight Zone we're in. we control horizontal, we control the vertical. Please do not attempt to adjust your set. It's fucking me being mad again. 69 on, 12 thumbs up. That is a disgrace. That is a disgrace. Ian Beals, jailed eels, jellied eels. Hello, mate. You look like the Terminator, not the Terminator. You look like some type of knight. Trying an armor at night time. 68 on, 13 thumbs up. Yeah, so tax him after his fight. There no fights around here what I'm about. Protein bar and rubber bull. Big chap would eat ya. Yeah, so getting back to the show. So yeah, to get off drugs, you've got to want to get off drugs, but you've got to use something to get off drugs. Look at this, my wife. With a cigar thing, fucking shite she smokes. It's like Clint Eastwood with a fucking fucking horrible the smell of them and all. She smokes them. She's been funny today. We're having a good laugh at her head. So if you want to get off drugs, you've got to use something to get off them. You've got to use some stimulate your brain some other way by training, going for walks, going to swim baths, having days out, go and see family and friends, clean your house, or just sit there doing nothing. The devil has thingy for idle hands, with the old saying, remember, you do nothing, devil, ooh. So if you're doing something good, like doing a bit of gardening or anything, you go and help someone. You only can get off drugs if you want to get off. That's what I'm trying to say. I can only meet you halfway and help you out. You ask me the questions. I don't know every answer, but I can give the best I can. But you can't get off drugs unless you really want to get off them. Not like, oh, I might get off them Monday, Tuesday, I might go back on Wednesday. That's not getting off them. You've got to say, that's it. I've had enough. The line in the sand. Both. I'm getting off them. I'm going to do my mum and dad proud. I know they're not here no more. I'm going to do my brother proud. I'm going to do my son proud. I'm going to live for my son. I'm going to change my life around because it's not a nice life I've got. Just as soon as I wake up, I want drugs. That's not a life. That's an existence. So it's a waste of a life, really. If you're going through it, you could be on drugs 5 years. And 5 years ago you started. 5 years today, you get up and you think, well, what's happened the last 5 years? It's been the same monotonous, same shit every day. Paranoia, wanting drugs, back on the drugs, paranoia, back on the drugs, paranoia, just go around in a circle. But then you get the ones who use the crutches to go, yeah, but it wasn't for him who did that to me years ago. I wouldn't be on drugs. Or then you put the ones who did it myself. I'm sick of him arguing with me. I'm going on the drugs. I'm having enough of him. I'm going on the drink. I'm sick of him. Any excuse to go back on it to the wife. What it is, love, it's him that fucker at work torturing me. I'm going on the drink tonight. My head's done in. I'm up to here with him. I've had enough. So it's just an excuse to go on the drink. So you make it up to your wife so you can go on the drink. So she doesn't go mad with you. Oh, okay then, love. Oh, I understand you. But that only lasts so long. Your wife gets onto that. By the 500, 600,000 fucking millions time you say it. Oh, I've lost the money. Oh, I've done this. Oh, I got robbed. I got beat up and robbed. So I took the money off me. Now you spent on drugs. Stop telling lies. All this shit you come out with because you want to be on the drugs. You need to get off the drugs, but you have to want to get off the drugs. You can't get off them. You keep saying, well, I'll have a last night tonight. And then you have it. And then you go another last night. Just say today, no, I'm not taking anymore. That's it. That's what I did. I went, that's it. I'm finished. I packed in. Oh, yeah, on the 21st of September. I remember the night. I remember the day. I remember everything. I remember the gear I got and everything. Fucking horrible. Paranoid to death. It makes you ill. See, when you first start taking it, it's quite a good buzz. It's good. You go, oh, yeah, brilliant. But then once you hit that paranoia once, paranoia keeps coming back because you've got a taste of it then. So your brain starts setting itself up for the paranoia. Because who's that? Shh. There's no fucker there. Like that noise. Be like, that's how much louder it is when you're on the crap and your ears go like that. Like a bull terrier, your ears. And the sounds you can hear. The fucking milkman 5 streets away. He's not even fucking putting the milk on the doorsteps. I'm not joking. The hearing goes through the roof. But the paranoia does as well. And your money doesn't. The more you take, the more you want. And it's an old saying. One goes too many and 1,000's never enough. Same as alcoholics. Well, I've been at work for a month on the rigs. I've been tired to have a drink. I've been at work in 30 days. I've been away for 6 months. But as soon as you have that, if you're an alcoholic, right? You're an alcoholic or a drug addict, and you've been off at 6 months, the chances you having a go and not having another go is exponentially low. You're not going to do it. Because as soon as you have a go, ooh, I'll just have another one. I'll have another one. Then 2, 3, 4, £5,000 later, fucking all the money that you've worked for 6 months is gone. And all them people who are around your house, I'll have a lime of coke, give me it for free. They're only giving you it for free, so you have a go. And then when you have a go, you go, can I buy a bit? Then you'll spend £1,000 or something, or whatever's in your pocket, you'll spend on it. Then you've got your fair with the friends. Oh, I love you, Brian, you're a great lad. Yeah, because I'm taking you out drinking, I'm paying for your coke in your nightclubs, getting you fit and giving you a fucking ecstasy. Paying for nothing but paying to get out of the clubs anyway, because I own quite a few of them. And they want to be your friends because you're giving them. You turn around and say to them, oh, I've got to get in the morning, I've got to get to bed tonight, I'm going to go. They won't say, well, I've got an ounce of coke in my pocket. Even though they have got it, they won't get out because they don't want you to, they think, well, I've got to go to him and see him, get a bit more off him. And that, what I've got here, I'll have that myself. Then you don't see them. You don't see them again for ages. Or you might get somebody to lend you, like say, give you £5. You'll never see them again because no one wants to pay for last night's buzz. Why would you pay £500 for an ounce or whatever? Say it's £500. I don't know what it is now that these days. Say it's £500. Why would you pay £500 when you could go and spend the £500 what you've got and the coke you've got and take it all weekend yourself? And that's what you do. And these people who say, I'm going to pay you, I promise you on the kids' life, swear my brother's grave, swear my mum's life. His mum's been dead 8 years. His dad's been dead 8 years. He's got no kids to swear in his life. It's just lies. I'll give you my keys and what it'll do, and I'll give you the fucking keys to even for the car. You go to start the car, it's even the fucking key. It's all blags and bullshit drugs, I tell you, especially addicts, especially ones that are on heroin, which we know who's on it. Should we guess? We know who's on heroin, don't we? But he's the worst I've ever known. I've never known anyone as bad as him for lies. I've never known anyone but the compulsive lies with him. Just living. Hugh Ardberg, and I know you're from Scotland. Come on, Hugh. Johnny Jump. Love Johnny Jump. David. That's what happened when John Watson, he was in home house with us. Cartman. Hello, Cartman, sneaking in there. Look, Irish little shamrocks on there, peeing. He's feeling Lion King. Lion King, I like that one. Hugh Ardberg. Hypersensitivity, eyebrow. Yeah, hypersensitivity. I'm a hyper, mate. But you don't need to be. It's a state of mind, isn't it? You can come on and go, I'm fed up, I can't do this, I can't do that, and feel sorry for yourself. Or you can come on even if you drown a bit, I feel tired tonight. But I'm making my hands killing me, but it's not as bad as last 3 days ago. It was just the pain was that bad, I couldn't come on. Well, I think I did about 2 hours last night. So what I've been doing is sitting in the car. I've been driving as well today. I've been all over, so I am so tight. So I've got to do back after this. I'm going to train back. So I'm training like 6 days a week. Sometimes I'm training 2 or 3 times a day. So I think the other week I was talking to Patrick. He said, you're doing too much. 2 and 3 and 4 times a day, so fucking much, especially when you come back from injury. So obviously you know more about training than me, Brian. So you need to rest your body and just rest and chill out. So I've been doing that. I did that for a few days. But I still had to train. 4 in the morning I got up and trained. Because if I don't train, I'll get depressed. Hangman addicts. I've never tried crack or heroin. Yeah, don't want to. If you fucking try it, I'll be on to you. And a second, it's fucking shite. Anyone tells you it's good, it's a fucking assholes. Anyone, I wouldn't even, I said to you, even him, tinfoil, I said to him, please go and get out at the rehab. Go on. I've been off drugs now. I've been off drugs. I've been sober 100 days, he said. But how can you be sober 100 days with pictures of you walking around like a fucking tramp? You look like death warmed up. You've got big spots all over your face. Your face is like that on the thing. It's all it looks like it's like melting your face. And your hair's like chip pads, like stuck on with glue, like fucking super glued on your hair. And you just instead of just saying, look, I've got a problem with drugs, I've had a problem. When I came out and I said, I'm going to tell me when I was on the drugs, he said, no, don't be doing that. He said, you'll ruin yourself. I said, no, don't. Jamie, I want to come on and tell people that I had a problem with drugs. If I'm the big tough guy, Brian Cockerill, fucking crying through the paranoia and fucking crying wanting to die because I didn't want to live like that no more. That's how bad it was. If I can get that to me, my fucking mind and power and fighting abilities were unbelievable, as you all know. I'm not making this up. And it got me. If it can get me, get anyone. That's what I'm trying to say. You said, don't fucking try something what will put you in your early grave. And it'll end up getting you jail. I'll end up making you ill, seriously mentally ill. It doesn't make you, don't care how tough you are. The state of Mike Tyson, he was crying on his big Bruno, Tyson Fury, all these people have come on and said, I suffer really bad from depression. So I thought, if they can do it, they're 10 times bigger than me. But I thought, if I can help people, so I've come on and done these speeches. I'm helping people. We've had thousands of people we've got in the gym. We've got, hello, Donald, love you, okay? We've got thousands of people back in the gym. We've got people, we've been in there, we've got army lads off the streets. We've got them into rehabs. Me and Emma, we've got people fucking back in jobs. We've got thousands of people training on the elastic bands. We've got hundreds and thousands probably on diets. Loads of tip of the days. So our channel he's putting up, he's trying to just get my channel struck down. He's trying to get it took off us because we're an evil channel, he said. And he's saying, all you people, you know how evil he is and what he's done. Well, you said, Jamie, 3 years ago, Brian Cockerill is the nicest man you could meet. Me and my wife, there's a video, it's Jamie Boyle talking about Brian Cockerill's book. It's not the one. Yes, it is. There's one called The Resurrection of Brian Cockerill, and then there's the other one, the Lee Duffy one we're going to do, was called the Once Upon a Time in Teesside. Now you listen to that. It's got a top on, a greeny colour. Hey, son, hello, baby. Hello, baby. You've heard your dad. No trouble in here. I've got my little bull terrier. He's not little, is he? Huge. Put another 2 kilos on. He's 34, 35 kilos. Hey, get out them boxes. Get out them bloody boxes. He loves eating wood. I'm sure he's Pinocchio. Get out of here, Pinocchio. Go on. He's come to see everyone, look. I'll give you a kiss then. What a baby, aren't you? You can't get on my knee. Everyone can't see you. I know, babes. Can you see him, everyone? Here he is. What a big baby, aren't you? Oh, you missed your dad, haven't you? Get him out of there, Bob, because he's going to knock it off. Everything. He's that heavy. 35 key.
Right.
Just pull him out and then shut the door. You might click the door because my eyes getting there. So I just sort of there. Pull that door shut properly. So I've got a bit of put some cream on my face because it was stinging from the sun. Bit of sting skin up there. The eyes just caught me in the face. Every time he goes leaving, my eyes water like mad. It's molten on with the heat. So you need to get off the drugs because if you don't get off them, you end up being on them. And you end up being poorly, really poorly. So, and you end up like no house, no money, you lose everything in the end. Some people die on it. And what for just to smoke something or take it. Alcohol's just the same. But he can't get off. So I try to get him off it by helping him. I'm saying, look, I'll help you. And he said, oh, will you? And all that. And at the end, and when I went round the next day, he's sitting again sniffing Subutex on the table, fucking 8 o'clock in the morning. We're going to do a book. Oh, I'll be all right. He's like sniffing the shit, breaking these white tablets up on the thing and sniffing them. I said, what are them? But I knew what they were because I was in jail when they were in. Subutex is like a pharmaceutical heroin. I went, listen, brother, promise me. My brother was on that. Killed himself through it. I said, it's no good, promise you. Why don't you get off? I'll help you. I'll train you. I started showing him how to train. I started showing him how to do biceps and stuff in the house. Started doing the bills, showing him how to run, do all these different runs and stuff, and get a bike and stuff, get a row machine, all that stuff. And he was doing all right for a few weeks, but behind the scenes, he was fucking calling everyone names and threatening people with my name and threatening Carol Edwards and threatening Peter Duffy and threatening other people like Rich Yorsley and threatening Mick Sorby and all these. And then he was doing the same to me. He just sits there laughing. He's fucking twisted. He is definitely round the bend. And he's wanting, like, I put people together, be friends and shake hands and stuff. He's trying to split people up. He said this about you and he said that. So he records everything. He sat there recording you with a dictaphone in his pocket. He's got the other one on the microphone there, like that. And he's talking to you. Well, what happened that day? And he's asking you questions. So I'm just telling off what really happened. So what he does, he has the one in his pocket, or he'll have it hidden in half on one near the kettle. Yeah, the jumper on the top. I lifted the jumper. I could see the bit of the thing. I'm sure it's it. When he went to the toilet, I lifted it up like that. Looked under, there was a dictaphone in there. So he was recording me, trying to catch me out. What really happened to such and such? What happened? I said, look, I don't feel uncomfortable with these type of questions. I said, I just want to tell you my story about my book. I'm not going to tell you who said, she said, who said, she said, because it's going to get people in trouble. He said, no, you can you can trust me explicitly. You can trust me explicitly. So I told him a couple of things, which I said, don't say this and don't say that. And the next minute, Terry's phoned me, told you later, and told me exactly. I deliberately given these things I told him. he said, "What are you doing with him?" He's told me this and told me that. I said, "I knew he would." I said, "I'll tell you what else he's told you this." And he went, "How the fuck?" He said, I knew you'd done it." He said, "Terry said, I knew you'd done it to trap him." So I knew straight away within 3 days of meeting him, he was a fucking wrong. I knew he wasn't right. But I thought he was just one of them, like a sweetie wife to call him in Scotland, like a gobshite. He said, like, but he loves causing trouble between people and getting people in a fight and then sitting back and laughing. And I caused that. He laughing, he loves it. He loves people getting upset and having fights. And mate's bully does the bully run. It's class that, yeah, he does the bully run. He fucking knocks you fucking flying. His head is like concrete, probably more like steel. I've never owned a dog. I've had all types of dogs, Rottweilers, pit bulls, English bull terriers. English bulls, the old English bulls. I've had all these type of dogs, American Akitas, and he hits you in his head. Oh, and he knocks you out. He hits you that hard. His only plan does that. And the bone on them, the bone on the nose and the head, they're like fucking from another planet. They look like aliens, don't they? Like from another world, like an Egyptian type fucking type dog. But they are really loyal, and the noses are unbelievable. And the bite, they don't let go when they get older. They just hang on. That's what I said. Jamie would look. What would look well on Jamie, Eli, because they don't let go when they get older. Your face. They look well on him. Don't forget to push the like buttons. 33 thumbs up. 91 people on. So I tried to help him. Can't man, okay, brother. And I tried to get him help, but even when we went to the kids' schools, and the Thornaby, he was on the drugs. The teacher, I knew her because she used to be in the, can't say the school, but she used to go to the raves and that. And I was telling the kids, oh, you'll get addicted to them, how do you do this? And these county lines. And they went, oh, you did marvellous. I said, really good. And we had the BBC there and everything was great. From BBC Radio Tees it was. And she was saying, are you sure you want to go on about talking to this? She said, I'm dead proud of you coming out and telling the truth, because you're going to help a lot of people when they're coming from the taxman, especially kids and that. When you're coming to get to school, and she did the radio thing. It was only about 20 minutes, I think, 15, 20 minutes I did it. And that was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant advice you give kids. Don't do what I've done. Don't become like I did. Get yourself a job, go to college, get yourself educated. If you're educated, don't take the piss out of you, because you've got the brains to argue back with intelligence. And also you've got the skills then to go on and get a job, and you can work things out better because you've got intelligence. So brains always over brawn every single time. The ones with the brains always be the ones with brawn. It does. Intelligence always wins. But he was trying to me to talk about shooting and something. I said, I'm not doing that in a fucking school with kids. I was just talking about training and things like that. And the kids were good. It was good with the kids and they loved it. I did one in South Bank. I did one in Thornaby. I did 3 up Bishop Goblins. But then when he went on, he went, does anyone know Paul Sykes? And Emma went like that to him, like cut, like that. And Paul Sykes, paedophile nod to it. And I was like, fucking, just every time he does it deliberately, just to show people up. Because when he went on, he was going, does anyone know such and such? Do you know me? I'm Jamie Boyle. I'm the best author ever. That went, no, but we know Brian. We couldn't see him because all the kids knew me from Blackwall and all that. They put what they did, they amalgamated 3 schools in one. So they bought, I think there was like 3 minibuses come from 3 schools, and then they put the other school where it was at. They all come in, 4 schools. There's about 100 kids, something like that, all in. And they sat there all the way through. She said, we brought a policeman about six months ago, and no one turned up. Then we got a prison officer coming, 2 turned up. And then we got a social worker in, and about 20 turned up, and they all walked out after 5 minutes. They've sat all the way through. 2 hours I was talking, and they sat all the way through it. They loved it. And a couple of the teachers, and the teachers could get a picture of you, Bryce. Of course you can. I said, you West and the kids. So the kids in that were getting pictures, and the teachers were, it's an honor to meet you, and what you're doing with the children here today, we can't thank you enough. I said, no, the pleasure's all mine. If I can help children, if I can help one kid today, I've done a great job. I can go to bed on the night and thank you, Lord, for helping me to help these kids. Now, if I didn't do what I did, take them drugs and get in these fights and get locked up and shot at and stabbed and hit with bars and hit with pellets and fucking hit with hammers and fucking all sorts of implements and ran over and petrol bombed. You see me, I was petrol bombed, firebombed and all sorts of stuff. But I didn't have all that stuff in my head. And to be able to show, look what happens when you get in that type of world, especially if you're getting drugs and you're getting them off like travellers and people like that, or people from different countries like Albanians. I'm not being racist at all. I'm just saying they're more vicious than the English people would be, or the black lads here from Manchester or the Pakistani lads from Birmingham or Bradford, because they've been here all their life, so they're more like us, like institutionalised, because this country, when they come from other countries where they're more ruthless, like Poland and places like that, Ukraine and places like that, they don't give you a fucking second chance. They'll chop your fingers off. They'll kill you. Your mum and dad will burn your house to the ground. If you rob them in them type of countries, they take it as a personal insult. So I'll teach that fucker. There was one in Middlesbrough about 5 years ago, cut his fingers off. Albanian lads with a fucking with a sword. And then they got another one that went to his house in Hartlepool, 4 of them, and poured battery acid in his eyes and burnt his eyes out and killed him. Killed this other lad who was from what was he from? I knew that, I don't know. He used to get stuff off. I can't remember his second name. I can't remember his name, but they got caught. 3 of them. One of them was on the run, but they were from like Albania. Dangerous people, but I don't like John Elite, loveliest man you could go. But in their world, if they don't do something about it, like say that daft cunt, me 10 years ago, I wiped him out. He'd have been gone off the face of the earth. The amount of people have asked me to do him in, the amount of people have willing to go up and do something to him, is fucking real. So I've definitely changed my life around, because if I was the same Brian 10 years ago or 5 years ago even, you would have been wiped out, completely gone. You'd never been seen again. That's what would have happened to you. Because of Jesus Christ, our Lord, your Saviour, I feel a different way of doing things now. And the thing is, you sit calling me names and doing this and calling that, and you're slagging me. But at the end of the day, it's me who put the food on your table for 2.5 years. It's Matty Joseph Turner put the food on your table for 2.5 years. For 4 years, sorry. Teddy Dicko for 4 years. It was their stories and their books, Jamie, where you got the stories off. And you dictaphoned them. Your wife did the books. You pretended you did them, but your wife did them. You made hundreds of thousands of pounds off these people. You bought your own home through Lee Duffy's fucking stories of Lee Duffy. You got £3,000. You bought the house, you told me. Then you bought £1,500 for your carpets. It was off another book, the Roy Shaw book. You made, I think, £2,000 off that. And then you called his fucking family, called his daughter, making lies up about, pretend you know her. So these people put food on your table, for some of them for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Paul's like, sister, come to your house. You let her in the house. You said you give her 50%. You give her nothing. You didn't give her a penny. That lass got nothing. And you put all these things in. And Stephen Gibbons, Jonathan Carling, the Irish Bull. So these people put food on your table and helped your son go to school and got you holidays here, there, and everywhere, and got you up the tree because who they were. You couldn't have done it on your own. And they helped you, like me, helped you with stories of Lee, and other people helped you with stories like Teddy Dicko and Rob Suggett and all them, but you lied about that. You pretended that the Lee Duffy family give consent, and they never. Carol Edwards has been on and told the truth. So then she comes on and tells the truth, and you torture the woman because she wouldn't give you stories. And you should be grateful that these people helped you, the great people at Teesside, because without us, you wouldn't have got the Lee stories. You were actually 9 years old when Lee died. You never knew Lee or Viv Graham or Ernie Buick or fucking Richie Orsley or Vulture and all them. You didn't know those people. You didn't know us like the Mick Sorbys and Paddy Maloney's and all them. And all these people you've done books on, you didn't know them characters. I was brought up with them. I was in that culture. I was their main person. I was their best fighter in this whole area. So that's why they all stuck with me, Jamie. You tried to steal my friends off here, you little kid. Vulture's my friend now. He's not your friend. You're like a little kid in the playground. Mentally deranged. You need to go and get help. You seriously do. But we only try to help people. You're trying to take our channel down for what? Because you're spiteful and evil. That's all it is. Paul Hobson. And we don't want any trouble off anyone. But we're not going to sit here like Rock, Hartlepool, Mid-City, Stephen Gibbons. Yeah, and the great people. Hartlepool, lovely people. But my family, my brother lived with Hartlepool. We lived on. My mum lives in St. Lane. I lived there since I was a kid. I knew all these people since I was like 8 years old. We moved there when I was a kid. I left there when I was 18. You don't know them people. I used to go out with them. I used to go to Hartlepool football, nick in the ground, the monkey hangers, and we'd be in the crowd, fucking, you know, on the football on the weekend and things like that. You haven't been there. You haven't been in places. You were on drugs when you were 15-year-old. In and out of jails all your life for stealing and pinching. I wasn't into all that stuff. I never had a drug till I was 26-year-old, 26 and a half year old I was, coming up for 27, well, 26, yeah. I never had a drug, never had alcohol till I was 24. I trained all my life since I was a kid, so I wasn't into that stuff. But you just torture people because people won't conform to what you want. Somebody says to me, I can't do it. I say, oh, no problem, mate, don't worry about it, here's a cuddle. You're all right, son, don't worry about it. And then people are nice, but you start trolling people because they say something about that's not true. But Lee Duffy, I was there that night and such, you weren't even there. Then you come out with all that, who do you think you're talking? Who do you think you are? Because you're full of that, and you're full of heroin, and you're full of coke and crack and anything you can get your hands on, and you think you're 10 men hiding in your bedroom upstairs, barricading yourself in behind your front door, behind the kitchen door, behind the living room door, and behind the fucking bedroom door, and then you barricade the room. And then you're like, nah, I'll troll him, I'm going to troll him. Not all day long, you're causing trouble with people. So what you're doing, you're poisoning your own mind with that stuff. When you keep going about someone and you're doing poisoning yourself, that's what you're doing, poisoning your own mind. And people have seen through you. All the mods are knowing when you come on, when you start putting shit on them. Going to chase the dragon. Yeah, that's what he does. He chases that. It's disgusting. But he's on that. Well, the other kid who chased him from Stockton about 4 or 5 months ago, so he's on the pure brown now, which is, I know Brad because I know who sells it to him. I wouldn't tell you the lad's names, obviously, but I know. And he said, I actually offered him out in here. He was slagging you and Terry. He said, get outside, then. Oh, you fucking arsehole. You just ran up the street. I'm getting the place. That's all you do. Now, when somebody said to me before, the lad was going on here, he said, I always get from good eye with me. I said, yeah, because if you, let me explain this. If you can't fight, which you can't fight, don't open that mouth unless you can back up with these. I'm telling that to everyone. If you can't fight, don't start saying something, because when somebody grabs you, what are you going to do if you can't fight? So keep your mouth shut and you're going to be safe. You can't do that because you've got different personalities, multiple personalities you've got. You become different characters. You want to be Paul Sykes one day. You want to be Brian Cockerill. You want to be Teddy Dicko. You become different people every day. That's why you've got that pizza box. You want to be that character. Then you've got another one that's Batman. And you've got another one where you're the Joker. You've got another one where you're Paul Sykes. You've got another one where you think you're, what's that actor called? I can't remember his name now. Off the Musketeers, I can't remember his name. Oliver Reed. You pretend to be Oliver Reed. So you pretend to be different people, because what that means, you've got MPD, multiple personality disorder. It means you're not happy in your own shell. That's why you dye your hair brown one day, then it's ginger. And then you said you dyed your hair like Paul Weller. Fucking, I don't fucking look like that. He was fucking fuming. Dyed your hair like I'm going for the jam look. You look fuck all like Paul Weller. Fucking Paul Weller's a tall, good looking lad. You're a little dumpy, short, fat thing. You just make a fool of yourself. And now you're on the, I've called my teeth because I've got 2 teeth missing, yeah. My teeth are spotless, Jimmy. And my clothes are spotless. My hair and everything's spotless. I go in the shower every day, sometimes twice a day. My nails are done perfect. My wife does everything. I do it myself. And all you do is sit there all day long talking shit to people and causing trouble for people. And people put money on the table for you for years and years and years. You've abused them. When you said I've been trolling you for 3 years, all I asked for was invoices. All I asked for was a right to know. Like when you have a business, I just want to know how much I'm getting this month. You can trust me explicitly. You've said that twice now. I said, I want invoices, which I get off John Blake Publishing, which I got off Stephen Wraith, which I would get off Lee Wortley, which I'd get off John Blake Publishing with Stephen Richards, but I got off Jugger, another great lad, Anthony and Jugger from Wales. You get invoices off people when you sell the books. They'll tell you how much you wrote and how much you get. You weren't happy getting 30%, so you weren't happy getting 67%. You wanted more. You even stole our money. So every month you haven't been paying us. That's all we asked for, a fair cut of the fucking the wages. What we've done hard work for. I've written these books. These are mine. No, they're not your books. You didn't even write them. You got them stories off me and all the other people, Paddy Maloney, all them. You ripped even Paddy off. You ripped him off for £500. You did his books. You had to take the books back off you, take your name off them and reprint them again, because you tried to be, I've written this book. You never written it. Paddy written it. It took about 5 years. Paddy took years to write, maybe 10 years to do that book. And you come along, put your name on it. You did the same with Marty. You put your name on Marty's book. It wasn't you written it. Marty written it 10 years before when his wife was dying. And he put it away in the crypt, a safe, so like a vault in the bank. So it was in there. So when he went to court, he told the Judge Gargan, he said, I've written the book myself. You don't know what my book back. You were told to give him it back. You would never give that old man his book back. He's passed away now. We're told to give that book back to him. You never even give him his book back. You didn't even give him the dignity. You give him the book back. That book was written by Martin Joseph Turner. All you did is get it printed, and he give you 50% to get it printed and put a picture on the front. That's all you had to do. Put a picture on, but you put your own name, written by Jamie Boyle and Martin Joseph Turner. It was written by Martin Joseph Turner. You just ghostwriting the bits in, It was your wife done that, and you got 50% of that book. But you went, I'll be getting 50%. You took the 100% off him. That book was written by Marty, whose grandson's got cerebral palsy. All that money was going to go to his grandson to get him a car when he left college. I think he was about 13 when it happened. So you got about your son. What about his son? You ripped not just an old man who was handicapped, Marty, but COPD, he died. You ripped him off and took his name off the book when he was dying in hospital. You went down and took his name off the book and put your own name on. So you conned him. So when you went to the court, the judge said, "Well, who written the book?" And Marty come up with all the stuff from the bank and when he written it, what day and what times and everything. So the judge tried, give me his book back. You were told to give the book back, and it was a Saturday afternoon when you come on. And then all of a sudden, we went down, me, Marty, Teddy Dicko, Emma, and Peter Robbo, God bless them. So we went in the Waterstone and said, "Oh, we want our books taken." I showed the lady there the court case we'd won. We've been allowed this. He hasn't paid us for the books for over 2.5 years at a time. So the lady went in the Waterstone, took every book off the shelf. Now, you knew, but the books what you had on lately, the judge did say to me, "What they'll do, Mr. Cockerill," he said, it's the new thing. He said, "What they'll do is, it sounds like they're going to wind up." I said, "What does that mean?" Winding up means they're going to declare themselves bankrupt. Everything that judge said 6, 7, 8 months ago, they've done. So now what they've done, they've sold all the books off. There's none left. They've sold his Rolls Royce, Rob Brenton, from 3 Ballingate Pontefract, where he was selling the book from that outlet. That's been shut down. He's gone missing. And Boyle has moved from his house, what he owned. So now he's given the house up because he can't afford to pay the rent. And he's been chased out of Stokesley and he's in a police house. So everything you've done, right? Is he? He's your grandson, I think, Tag. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. And I want to set up an office. Well, tell him to get my number, get his number, and I'll phone him later on and I'll speak to him because we've got lots to talk about anyway. Yeah, right. You can give him a ring. Talk to this computer, Brian. Yeah, I'll give us a ring later on, son, and I've got loads of stuff there to get this book back, and there's quite a few quid we owed because we've got people in there now fighting the case for Marty still, and it's in the hands of the auditors now. So remember, I just wanted that for you. All your granddad used to talk about was you and your dad and his family, and they used to come here all the time. We used to go, me and Emma and Peter Robbo, and we'd all go to Redcar for the day and have fish and chips. We used to go down the Gare where he used to train the kids, and he used to have lovely days out with him. He's a lovely man, and he written that book for his grandson, which is your son, and it was written because to get you some money towards the car, he told me. And all he gave us Marty was £50.33 out of all them books he's done. But we found out now Kevin Brown's been doing the stuff for him, and Kevin's found out he's owed thousands and thousands of pounds, and he's got all the proof and all the facts and everything. But he needs the family to contact him so he can go to the next stage. He needs permission off you to go to the next stage. He's that close. I think the court case is up very soon. I think it's up in July. So, but your granddad was here, Teddy Dicko was here, and he said to me, "You used to." I was crying, my eyes. I had to go to the passage, and makes me upset, does upset me. So he grabbed our hands. He said, "Teddy, listen, lads, please don't. Please, sorry for swearing, guys." He said, "Please don't let me down." He said, "I'm not going to be here much longer." I said, "Stop being fucking stupid." But I knew he was bad. I said, "No, you're not. We love you. You don't go nowhere. I'm with you all the time." And I took to Marty to court. I stood representing him in the courtroom. He could give us a cuddle and all sorts when I come out. But he was pulling with that oxygen bottles. And that scumbag, that Brenton Boyle didn't dare come up. He said, "I'm glad you couldn't." He said, "A victory." And I said, "What do you mean?" He went, "The asses have gone because you're with me." He said, "They'll probably come if I was on my own." I said, "They won't be getting you, Marty. You've got to get fucking past me." I was still on the gate, the gates and the doors, sorry. The dom said, "What you up to?" He said, "I know what's going on." The dom to me, he said, if there's a certain 2 people coming in, they're going to get fucking banged out. And he said, "Don't get yourself locked up." I said, "No, I just want to face the fucking scumbags, what they've done to Marty and me and Terry and everyone else. They've ripped every single person off." So Marty said to me, "What a great day I've had today, Brian." He said, "You do know your stuff." He said, "That judge was very impressed with you." So I said, "Look, I'm here today for Mr. Turner. I'm representing him as a Mackenzie friend. And I do believe that there's a fraudulent killing going on here with Mr. Brenton and Mr. Boyle. I call them Burke and Her, Your Honour." He started laughing at the judge. I said, they robbed the older people like me and Matty because we weren't computer illiterate, Your Honour. I said, that old horse chestnut, he said. So then then he said, well, oh, the book's not doing good they've come out with, but if you have your look, Your Honour, on the internet. So he looked on the internet and he went on it. He said, this book's doing extremely well, even in Australia and in America. But Matty Joseph Turner was known by everybody. He had world champion boxers. Joe Egan spoke of him like he was like a dad to him. And he took Joe Egan for Great Britain. They went to Reykjavik, I think it was. And I went over there and he was telling me, and Joe was on the phone talking to me. And then Steve Collins, one of the greatest middleweights that ever lived. Marty knew him well. Marty's our boxer from our end was Cornelius Carr. He took Cornelius Carr from amateur to the world champion, British champion, the British champion, world champion middleweight in the world, from a little place in Middlesbrough. The world champion he made. And then that piece of shit bag come along and ripped him off for his book. Now, he did the book. It was never going to make thousands and thousands, but it has made thousands. But it's into the court. So his family now need to get hold of Kevin. I've got his number and that. So we can get this. And every penny that goes will go to his family, his grandson. I promised him that before he passed away. I'll never stop fighting. I'll never stop fighting until my friend, Matty Joseph Turner, gets justice. And I'm never going to stop. Never going to stop. People don't know that. That's the main reason I do it. It's the main reason is to bring you down what you've done at that man. You tortured that old man these last few years of his life. Tortured him. Even his own son will come on, his grandson's dad. He'll tell him the same. Marcella, I think it might be your mum's name or your auntie's. Marcella, he called it. It was Cassius Clay. And that he used to talk about her. I think she's from Leeds or something like that. And he used to talk about her. We used to go up like I say, we go to Whitby for the day because he was in the house on his own. And I say, how are you coming out? Oh, I'm just staying. I say, how we come out? Stop to sit in the house. Stop being boring. How are you then, you big fella? You're a fucking nightmare. You're like, come on, you got out. He said, you know what? I feel great coming out with you, Brian. It's great. And for the last, couple of years, I only knew him for a few years, but he said, this last 2 years has been the best time I've had since I've been poorly. I used to have tears in my eyes running down my face, It was like fucking 78-year-old, I think it was. And he went to London because he saved all them children in the streets from South Bank and Grangetown. He trained Lee Duffy, the O's are all great fighters. Steve Mack, he'll tell you how good what lovely man he was. And he took kids off the street who had nowhere to go. It would have been Lee Duffy was getting bullied. He was 9-year-old. Kids were bullying him. He said, leave him alone, you. And Lee turned into a fucking monster a few years later. So all them people loved him. Young Tommy O said, I love Marty. And all the lads from Redcar, bad, boil away from Redcar. The body chased him all over Nunthorpe and everything. They won't have him in Teesside what he's done to Marty. So Marty was loved by all these top people. And when he was fighting, Cornelius was fighting Steve Collins that night. He said after the fight, Steve Collins come up to him and said, better man lost. He said, I lost that fight, He said, I've never been hit with body shots like that in my life. He said, I swear to God, I thought I lost my house. He said, I really thought he took my house off me. And that was like, Marty, that's how good it was. When he had Joe Egan. So you have, say, from Britain. So you can be Great Britain, obviously, Ireland and Wales and Scotland and wherever, and England. So they've gone to Reykjavik to represent the country. So when they get there, Joe's already been sparring with Mike Tyson. So he said, listen, guys, I think he was about 19 at the time, Joe, 19, 20. He said, there's a young guy in the States, it's called Mike Tyson. This is Marty telling me, because he was dead methodical at telling you, you'd listen to him, like a school teacher, you'd be listen to him. He says, so what he got there, he talks speaking, and he's so funny, Marty. He used to make me, I've creased and laughing. He said, Kazi, because Kazi was another great fighter, but he ended up getting bad hands like my fucking hands. You on the bottom, Kazi, you're on the top, Joe. So on the night, he said, have a few drinks before you go out and don't go mental. So Joe Egan got pissed up a bit, jumped on the top bunk, fell fucking right through the bunk, landed on top of Kazi, only weighed about 9 stone. It fucking killed him. 19 stone, Big Joe fell through. So anyway, when they won the competition. I think they won 5 fights out of 5, 6, 7 fights, whatever they won out of 8, I think it was. So anyway, all representing different weights. And the one that did well, they done one. But he said, there's a man called Mike Tyson. He's going to be the youngest ever heavyweight, and it's something like 1,000 to 1 to put the money. He said, so all the lads would put like 100 quid and 200 quid on it. So about a year and a half later, I said, do you win like Marty? He went, the only fucking me never put any money on. He said, all the others won thousands of pounds. Me, Joe Soap, he said, just didn't listen. I was like, I said, you fucking useless bastard. He went, no, I didn't listen, big fella. I thought, fucking hell. there's no way he's going to do this, do that. But Joe was right. Big Joe was right. Lovely man, Big Joe. But he come on the phone to me. Matt Legg met Marty. He sat there. Matt Legg. I was on the hospital bed. Marty was like, me and him were pulling both of us, so we're helping each other. I was a bad way, really bad for me injuries. And so he was talking to Matt Legg, and Matt like, do you know him? And he's going, yeah, I know him. Matt was going, yeah, I know him. I remember him and such and such. And you know this trainer? So do you know that one? And he said his mind was dead clear, you know, Marty Turner. He was going, oh, he's losing his mind. All that was he losing his mind. He was as sharp as a fucking tack. And he was so funny. And I tell you what, he couldn't have fight, you know, Marty. He knocked all the top fighters, you know, when he was younger, really top fighter. He liked to drink. He loved his missus. He loved his family. But he was a man's man. You know, he'd be out and anyone said, oh, he didn't like bullies. He hated bullies. He loved me because he loved me. He knew me. He knew me for years and years to Robbo and that. But I never got to meet him for the last 2.5 years or so of his life. But it was just so much. I wanted to be a man like that who stood up for people. And everywhere he went, Marty went, anywhere in the boxing world. Matt and Joe was going to America, Australia, anywhere, Scotland, England, Ireland, Lithuania, fucking Russia. People knew him because he was a well-respected boxing trainer. He was a really good fighter. So wherever he went, people liked him. But that scumbag come along. So Marty collapsed and he was bad. So they took him in hospital. So it had been out. So I bought them all a meal. It was me, Doyle, Jamie Doyle, Bobby, Emma. Yeah, it was 5 of us, I think. Yeah, 5 of us. So we're all out. And I said, I'll get the meals in because he paid for the petrol in the car. So we went to the place. Every time Doyle, Marty was always spot on. I'll get the fish and chips, big fella, you get them next time. And I'll get the dinners. And we all shared each other, you know, like a greedy bastard. Oh, I was every card, you know, that old chestnut, every fucking time we went anywhere. He never had a fucking rap in his pocket. A greedy bastard. Little fucking smack rat. So we were buying him food, me and Marty, and treating him and everything, taking him out for dinners and all that shit. And he was like, listen to this, listen to that. And he was saying, how do you know him, Marty? He said, I trained him. How do you know fucking, we're at another place and there was Eubanks and Nigel Benny went, all right, Marty, all right. Shout, how do you know them? He said, I've been, Cornelius fought them in the amateurs. He beat them as well, Cornelius Carr. And he couldn't believe only Peter knew. He said, I've been doing this all my life, son. So I said, what was he like boxing? Then he said, yeah, it was fucking shit. Of all the boxers I ever trained in my life, I could honestly say, hand on heart, on my wife's grave, he said, I've never seen a worse fight in my life than him. He said, he got in the ring with an Asian lad, Pakistani lad from Doggy, I think it was, and he punched him all over the ring. He went, stop, can't fight no more. And then he went in the welly and did it and got battered in there. 3 times he got battered. And they stopped him and said, he can't fight no more because he's going to get hurt. It was just a punch back, like he still is now, a shit house. So what happened was Marty was in hospital, really bad. So he phoned me up, Jamie Doyle. When Marty's bad, you know, he said, his son's phoned me and said, he's not going to make it. And I was like, no, upset, really upset. And then he said, he's passed away. I went, oh, I don't believe this. So me and them were crying. Bobby was crying. Teddy was crying. Fucking gutted, absolutely gutted. He's passed away and all that shit, right? Fucking lies. He made it up. He made it up so he could go down. So he went down and got Marty's book. Took the book down, took Marty's name out the book, reprinted it all, because they said his son said he don't think he's going to make it. The priest has been here because he was a Catholic. Give him his last fight 3 times. I think he passed away twice. They brought him back 3 times, I think it was. And they brought him back with the heart things. So Marty fighter he was, come back and lived. I think, no on the phone, how are you alive? What's happened to it? What are you on about? He said, oh, I got my last rights. He said, so that fucker, what he done is he changed the name. So for instance, say it's there like that. It'd be there, Martin Joseph Turner there. He put his fingers over that bit like that. And it had Martin Joseph Turner there. But on that side, he lifted that up, it had Jamie Boyle. So written by Martin Joseph Turner and Jamie Boyle. So he hid Jamie Boyle out the way so Marty couldn't see it. Yeah.
Just saying that when Jamie accused his granddad of being dead,
yeah,
he was actually on the phone to Ty as well.
Yeah, it's just horrible. So he pretended he was dead. So what he done is he said to Marty, right, I'll come to your house and we'll do the contract. So he brought him to the house. His house, Marty, was immaculate. He was the cleanest man you've ever met. He's immaculate, like OCD, right over the top. The car was spot, everything. Marty would say, I said, that needs done, that, you know, oh, let's get it done then. And you go and get it cleaned. He was so clean, honest. So I had some laugh, me and Robbo. So anyway, we're at the beach and
What
Pete.
about when you used to bullet Robbo off the being drunk?
Yeah, it's it, Robert. How many fucking times am I talking? How many times am I telling you? And I go, Marty! Ah! We don't decide the road. It'd be fucking hard. You're going to kill me. He'd be going to Robbo. No, like, he was in the car. Until he'll be laughing. He's driving like this. Go, I'm sick of telling you, but then I'm on this side. Go, Marty, Marty. And then he go. Then we went to show, and that was hilarious. This me Evo, was you Emma, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Me Emma, and Evo. We all went there to see him. So Marty drives down. We got him his diesel money before a rat bag fucking pinched the money. That's what he was doing. People were getting the money to go, and Boyle was getting the money pocketing it. Oh no, you're going to give you 20 quid. So he got anyway. He wants his money, Sean. So he got 140 quid coming down. So he said, "Oh, good lad, Bri, good lad." He's laughing. So anyway, we goes out and I went for a meal again. I bought the meals again that day, like a big dinner. Yeah, lovely. So anyway, he's we were down there, right? So we're in there and he's telling the stories and talks to them, all that stuff. So we're coming back. So Marty goes, I'll just go this way. So he's on the wrong fucking side of the road, 70 mile an hour cars coming. Marty! And my heart fucking nearly killed me about 20. Mr. killed me nearly 20 times. He's going, what it is, big fella? You know, he'd be talking, yeah. And he'd go up cabs and everything. I was saying, fuck, he's like Mr. Magoo. You know, he's fucking hilarious. And Robbo was fucking saying, don't pick me up tomorrow. Tell you, to shit yourself. He was the worst driver ever. But God bless him. But anyway, fucking, so what happened is he went to see Doyle. And Doyle said, well, I'll come and see you. And I asked him. So Doyle went to see Marty. So Marty, he said, I'll do the contract for you. So he put in it dead tiny, right? No, Marty had bad eyes, like that. So he did the contract. And what he done is he put it on the table. So he said, oh, you're signing here, Marty. So Marty signed it. Signed the contract. So he knew Marty was on oxygen bottles. He had them in a little, when you get them in a little handle and you get your 2 bottles, you get the mask. So he'd have to pull a little trolley for himself and I'd help him into the car. So on this time's occasion, Jamie Boyle's in the house. Let's just call him who he is. Jamie Boyle's in the house. Scumbag. He says, oh, okay, Marty. So he helps him, Marty, get in the car with the bottles. And Marty's out because he's in the little bungalow. So Marty's in the car. And Boyle goes, oh, I'm having a pee. Can I just go in the toilet? Marty didn't suss out. So the contract was on the table in the house. So sneaky bastard's gone in the house. Come back out. Pinched the contract off the table, put it in his pocket. Got in the car. Drove. Marty tried to ring him 3-4 days, but 4 days later, well, where have you been? He said, where'd you put that? Marty, you know, I put it on the table. You were there when I signed it with you. It's on the table, bro. He said, blah, blah, all that shit. He pinched the contract back, the dirty, sneaky bastard. He said, what have you done, Brian? He said, you knew I wouldn't be able to get out the car again because I was knackered getting into it. So he punched the contract off the table. That's where Marty was struggling at Cockerill because he never had a contract. But we ended up doing it where we brought him out where he said, oh, he said, oh, you get 50%. So we had him on video saying you get 50%. Then we went to court and said, well, how much, Mr. Brenton, do you give Mr. Brenton? How much do you give Mr. Turner for his book? He went 50%. I thought, thank fuck he said that. I've got him now. And that's when we got them in the courtrooms with the stuff. So, but we went in court. We were actually on the telephone conversation. But me and Marty that day were at court. It just came down the COVID 2022. And Marty was at the court and said, I'll represent you. And I went with him there and I had him here 4 times. And I was having to whisper in his ear. Judge Swanee had, Judge Cook he had, Judge Lillis. I think it was 7 times he went to court against him. And Brenton just, there's no court cases. So Marty come on my YouTube channel. I'll get Emma to put it up where he comes on and tells you the truth about this scumbag. So he ripped everyone off, ripped Marty off. So when Marty asked for his money, he said, oh, what it is the thing's been blocked. You know, you get like a pass, you put it in like your code, like your account. My account's been frozen on Amazon, and this is what Brenton was using as an excuse. Then he was like, because of the COVID, they've shut everything down at the moment. With 4 other people, like Stephen Rayfield and other friends, like Lee Watley, went, no, it's not shut down at all. And then we went to see the woman in Amazon. She said, we've sold more books with the COVID being on because no one can come out hardly. And people are getting the books sold, sent to their houses by parcels and stuff. I thought, you fucking, she said, we've actually sold more books now than we've ever sold in the last 10 years or so. She said, so there's not been a downward a spiral going down. It's gone up. He said, because more people ended up in hospital. They want something to read, so they're getting sent to their friends. I send them in the hospital from family and friends. So all the lies they made up, we can trust us explicitly. They'll give us the invoices. You know, I can't, what's happened? The thingy's broken, this broke, I can't get my bank account. It was just excuse after excuse after excuse. So that's why we went to court. It wasn't just me who went to court with him. Teddy Nichols got to court. Teddy got 2 books back. Marty got his book back, and I've got my book back, but they haven't given me my book back. So that's where we're at now. In the Kindle Amazon. The lady's in there for us, and we've also contacted America, where they're in there. There's fraud. They've fraudulently been buying, so fraudulently opened the book companies called War Cry Publishing, War Cry Press, printed all them books and sold all them books under that name. But when it went in front of the judge, he went, these don't exist. The companies are fake. They're fraudulent companies. So then they had to rechange it to Rubik's. That's why they call it Rubik's. You know yourself, it's called War Cry Publishing. You know yourself, it's called War Cry Press. Yeah. That does not exist in company now.
Sent that over for Marty's grandson to see how good his granddad made him.
Yeah.
Total fights. 13 fights, 13 wins, 12 wins by KO on the boxing record there. Yeah. And that was super middleweight.
Yeah, he's a lovely kid.
But he even took over. He's saying Tyson, he even wanted the rights to his Facebook page. That's what he did.
He wanted all his stuff back. I was trying to get that back for him. Well, what he done with Oil done with mine, he created the page Facebook for me. He created it for Marty. He created it for Terry. He created it for Richie Horsey. He created it for Paul Venice. He created for everyone. So he was the admin, they call it, of all the Facebooks. So then he would be on the Facebook, say I had an argument. He'd come on as Paul Venice and go, I want to fight you. It's me, Paul Venice, and change the password on Paul Venice's Facebook. Send a message to people. It's me, Paul Venice. I'm coming around your house in the morning threatening people, but it wasn't Paul doing it. Then he was going to Richie Horsley. It's me, Brian Cockerill, changing my postcode, my admin, what the fuck it's called. So he had access to them all. So then he was threatening people, threatening every fucker, bullying everyone with different people like myself, fighters' names, and threatening people. He even contacted Marty's sisters. One was 83 or 84, one was 84, 85. And he came on the phone, he said, them dirty bastard. One lived in Canada, I think it was, and one lived in Australia. He said, he's only contacted me 2 sisters. I haven't seen him for years. And pretend I've lost my mind and my memory. So what happened is Marty's phone kept getting all this porn spam sent to it. And I think his son used to take it off for him. His son can verify. Who knows it, itchy after Eli. So she came in there. Eli'd been on it. So anyway, Boyle, when we went that day, I told you about when we went to Sean Atwood, we went down there and he nearly killed us in the car. Can I borrow your phone, Marty? He said, because I need to send a few messages out. Last time we went to talk to him. And he used to do this. He did the same with Dennis Powell, another great boxing trainer from South Bank, who's got a big lad, about 6'8", fucking absolutely brilliant fighter, world-class fighters. And he went to Dennis, you don't know how to box you were useless. And Dennis said, get my fucking you throw him out. But Dennis sent a message to us saying, I can see another move coming on. And what he does, he causes trouble with all the locals. We didn't know he'd done all this with all the locals in Middlesbrough and Teesside. Dennis was letting us know because the lads who boxed for Dennis were telling him what he'd done. So he caused trouble between all the locals on the estates. And then he has to pack his bags and move when he gets them upset, and he'd have to chase them. Now he's moved 9 times in 12 years. So every one of these people who keep coming, Marty Joseph's grandson, and I can't believe it, son, keep in contact with us all the time, and I'm always here for you. Any day of the week, your granddad was a legend, absolute legend. So Marty shot all these kids and everything, and he's fucking stole his book, stole the money. The money wasn't even for him, it was for his grandson. It was going to his grandson to help his son. And he said, please, Brian, don't stop fighting. He said to Kevin Brown, please don't. Kevin's done loads of work for him. I think Kevin's got like real like close to like the court date. I think the court date could be in July. I think it is. I think it's the 20th of July, something out of the court date. So I think they're serious trouble. I think I'll get Kevin's number and I'll send it to you, son. You can phone him and see where he stands with it, because he can, whatever he's owed, he can get that money back, because he's in that stage, because he was given as the Mackenzie friends like a solicitor. But you have to know what you're doing with it. So you better let him, someone like Kevin who knows the score with it. But he has got him. He's done a lot of work for him, and he will get a lot more money back. And I'd be over the fucking moon. Whatever he got back, I'd be over the moon just to piss that fucker off. But he pretended that Marty died, went straight down to Pontefract, where there's Pontefract, where I told you about 3 Bailey-gate Pontefract. He went down there, and he changed the book over to Marty Joseph Turner, took that off, put Jamie Boyle on. because Marty come back to life, he had to go back down, change it over and put written by Jamie Boyle and Marty Joseph Turner. It was never written by you. He written it 10 years before you even come on the scene. 10 years before. Because 10 years before he was doing it, and his daughter, Marcella, I think they call it, she typed it all out for him. And she did all the transcripts. He did everything you did, fuck all as usual. And he gave you 50%, and you even took his name off his book and put yours on as if to say, I've written this book. You've never written it. You're just a narcissistic, fat little greedy bastard. And the day I bump into the day I bump into you, it'll be the greatest day of my fucking life. I can't wait to shake your hand. I will. When I bump in front of you, you watch what I'll do. Yeah, I will shake your hand. Yeah, that's exactly what I'll do. If I say anything stupid, that's why you're trying to poke me with a stick like a wild bear. You said Brian Cockerill was the biggest name ever in Tweedsville. Matt used to say it. Marty Turner used to say, if I had you when you were young, you would have been a fucking world class. You would have been the best going Bryson. You were in the wrong hands. And he used to say it to Rob. Everyone used to say it. And he's another one. There's never been another Brian Cockerill. Marty Turner said, never like you, son. With the skills, the speed of your hands, it's fucking phenomenal. What your hand speed was like when you were younger. He said, even like now, he said, when I was messed about with him, he said, when you're in them pads and that in the back garden, that lad, he said, that accuracy, every punch is right on the button when you're in the pads. You're not on the side, you're not missing it, you're catching it bang on. He said, at that weight and that speed and that power, it's like Steve Mack said, I don't give a fuck who you are, I don't give a fuck how good you're at boxing. Brian Cockerill catches with that right or left hook or any punch he hits you when you're going down, you're staying down. His fucking powers enough to knock a horse down or a wall down, John Black used to say. But you come along and your little upstart, so you were calling to a Mick Sorby saying I was calling Mick. Never called Mick in my life. Mick was like a dad to me when I was a kid. He used to take me to the beach and he used to take me on the horses. He used to take me in Terry Rich. We used to go scrapping and everything. You don't know how much history I've got with the Hartlepool lads. So you did a big mistake them and all them, and they all know it's you now. Every one of them have chased you from Hartlepool. Vulture threatened to knock your fucking teeth down your throat, you shit yourself. Because you cannot fight. You cannot fight, you're a coward. You've never ever had a fight in your fucking life. You're shit house. But Marty said, I just wish I was, do you know what I wish? I said, I know what you're going to say before you fucking say it. You wish you could go back for just 1 week and be Marty Turner of 30 years ago. How do you know that? I said, but I've been saying that for the last fucking 2 years, Marty. He said, I don't know, he dare fucking call you. I don't know, he dare that little cunt. He fucking hated him with a vengeance. I've written that book with my daughter. He said, I fucking did every single bit of it myself. And I give him 50% of the book, and I wasn't happy with that. He stole all my money, give him £50.33. It's all he got out of fucking 4 years, I think it's been out. 4, maybe 5 years. Everybody's been ripped off, and he sat there going, you bullying me? Yes. So the idiots are coming up here going, oh, it's a shame he's bad. No, he's not fucking bad. He's a fucking scumbag piece of shit. He does this to everyone. Carl Edwards tortured. Lee Duffy's family tortured. Okay, Lee Duffy's daughter's tortured. Lee Duffy's son tortured. Lee Duffy's mum tortured. Pretending that Lee Duffy's mum was getting the gravestone of Lee smashed up and they were putting it through the door. And he was getting phone calls at 4 in the morning. It's Lee Duffy from the grave. No, it was you doing it. It was fucking you sick cunt. It was you all along doing it. Pretending it was people from the grave, Lee Duffy's grave, because none of his family wanted you to write the book. So you got the family back by doing that, phoning Lee's mum up and putting fucking things up, putting shit things up there because you're fucking twisted. Good firm handshake. Yeah, James Jameson. A fucking good firm fucking handshake.
Guys just said, I'm going to jump, but don't stop. You made my granddad have another purpose. His song My Way, and he certainly did it his way.
Yeah. God bless you, son. We love you. Yeah, what a lovely kid. Yeah. Wouldn't fight me, mate. Yeah, peace. Yeah, it's upset me again now. Trust me, I think. Weird City. Decker's a fucking divvy. Decker wouldn't even fight me. I'm an old fucking man. I offered him out. He fucking, no, he don't. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put him up today. I'll get him to put it up. He went, who am I phoning on? Who's been threatening me? Oh, yeah, Brian Cockerill's threatening me. This is before my injury this so. I got to fucking destroyed the daft cunt. I went, I'll fight you anywhere you want, you fucking stupid fucking potato red cunt. He's like, there's no need for that because I think the world you. I think you're the best fighter ever and I wanted to be like you when I was a kid. Well, I don't want you to be like me because I'm not like fucking you. I said, I tell you what I'll do, I'll meet you now anywhere in Cumbria. I'll come meet you. Not in fucking rings and jumping about and video and all that fucking shit. Let's just get on the tarmac. I will go on the beach, I will go on the grass, and I will knock fuck out you, and I'll bite lumps out of your cunt. And I'll spit your fucking nose down the drain, you fucking prick. I'll make a mess of you. I will absolutely destroy you in seconds. I know that. He was saying he wouldn't dare meet me. So what did he do? He phoned Carlisle fucking police, spoke to the policewoman. He's recorded it. God bless Rhonda, became friends with them. She sent us a recording. It's at the police. Who's it? Brian, was he fucking shitting himself because I'll give a shout and that? And I said, I'll come meet you now, Decker. Just dead calm, we did it. I said, I don't give a fuck who you are. Well, you don't impress me. All that box in the ring is totally different. I'm the daddy on the tarmac. Let's see who the fucking daddy is then, right? And he went, no, what it is, I'll get the police. You get the police for what? They're not going to organise a fight. What they're going to do? Well, I'll get the police on you. And he went, you fucking next minute. He's on the phone. Phones the police. They never ever come like, but he phoned the police. He said, I want to report a man. He's called Brian Cockerill. He's threatening me. This big hard man supposed to be on. He's fucking hard. He's fucking doughball. Got beat by a 9.5 stone lad. Punched all over. Fucking idiot. You can't count the punch. All you can do is fight one way. It's the same metallic, robotic, or fucking, you do this, what you do, you'll set yourself up for a punch, you throw a jab, and you'll go like that to throw, and then you shit yourself. When Danny Christie was counter punching all the time, you kept pulling back like that. Alex went bang, stepped in the left, knocked you clean out. But Danny Christie was only 12, 13 stone. If he'd have been 2, 3 stone, he'd have sparked you. But he made a mess of you. He made an embarrassment. And the other lad, Robert, for our way, I'll shake that kid's hand when I see him. He made you look like a fucking fool. Absolute fool. You can't fight. And the fight with fucking the black lad. I was seeing fight Tyson, Julian Davey, Julian, what's he called? Julius something. Remember his name, the lad, Julian something. He fought him at Manchester. I was there. And he would have destroyed you. He took a dive. It was a dive he took. He just gave up. Because he got paid to do a dive. That's what happened. Yeah, see, it's all coming out, James Jameson. See, now people didn't know all this. So Brian Cockerill's on about him. It's not just me. It's everyone. Richie Horsey, great friend of mine. We should drink every weekend. We go all over with brothers. We go for food. We go for this. We go for that. I had a lot more money, obviously, Richie. We're going out for night. Oh, cheers, big Brian. I'm making for buying meals. We go down fishing chips. We go and see my mum. I'd go and see his mum. I'd sit with his mum for hours. Me and Richie, best of friends. Oh, he's been calling your names and all that. It was fucking you pretending to be me. I was in a wheelchair, paralysed in the hospital, but Richie didn't know this. So Richie was going, oh, I'll do this and do that. He had Richie head puddled for lies. And then Richie come on, he went, oh, I feel terrible. He said, I didn't really know, Brian. He said, I feel terrible. He said, Vulture, and everyone, Vulture and Brian's paralysed. Richie can't walk. His legs are paralysed in his hands. He said, he put his hand on his head like that and couldn't believe it. He said, I feel fucking terrible now. Because he was getting him to think I was saying these things. It was him. So Richie sent a message to me, and I felt great because he said, tell him I love him. And he said, me and Brian are cool. And he said, think the world of the big fella. He's a great lad. And his mum thought the world of him as well. So the only people would fall out there would be my mum and his mum. My mum would go mad with him. And his mum would go mad with me. And falling out. And Richie was always a friend. You know, people trying to get his fight in 1994. Come to see me with McSorby. I said, she said, I would get in here for fuck's sake. And I popped, let's get that in you. Get that in you. Throw an E in them. We went on the drink for 2, 3 days. Great times. We used to go out the raves with him and everything. So I know in my heart I was upset because I thought he was calling me, but he's so good at intertwining with people. And he was doing with Vulture, and I sussed that cunt out. He said, do a book. I'll do what it is if you call Brian Cockerill Vulture, I'll do a book about you and do a movie. He went, fuck off, you little earworm. I'll fucking knock you out, you daft little cunt. Chased him. So Vulture chased him out of article. So then Mick Sorby realised it was all shit because I seen Big Kino. I said, "What's Mick been calling me?" He said, "No, Mick fucking never ever calls you, but he loves you all the world. Thinks the fucking world of you, man, for fuck's sake. Everyone in Hartlepool thinks the world of you. Because I was down, you're down, I couldn't fight, my hands were fucked, my legs were fucked, massive operations, and my wife was having to feed me with a spoon. I mean, it was a fucking terrible time I went through, and every day he was torturing me. Are you going to die? I'm going to rape your wife. How are you going to stop me raping your wife, you big stupid balloon, you big fat daft cunt? What are you going to do now? I'm going to rape your wife, I'm going to bum your dog, I'm going to kill Scrappy and cut his head off. I'm going to bum your brother. And then he was saying about my brother Skinny. He was saying, oh, And when your brother used to get raped, you used to sit and watch him. You used to toss yourself off watching your own brother. That's how fucking sick he. You send me messages like that. It was driving me around the fucking bend. And now we can't take it back because I'm fucking onto him. And people go, oh no, leave it out. And no, I'm not leaving the fucking out what he's done to my sister. What about raping my fucking, get my sister raped and get my wife raped and get my fucking mum raped? You haven't got a clue what we've got on these computers what he sent to us, this dirty bastard. And Cleveland police don't give a fuck. They're letting him do this because he's working with the cops. Look at the bastards with me. And before 999 3 times, the house was on fire and they got burnt alive. Did fuck all, didn't even turn up. When do you ever hear the police don't turn up with a house on fire and petrol bombed and fucking explosive device went off in a car? My friend is ex-SES and he was in MI5. He said he works in a munition factory now abroad. He said anyone makes a device, if I fill that with gunpowder now and I put a fuse in it and light it, that then becomes an explosive bomb. So and if it's detonated, if you throw it to somebody's house, that's a life-threatening situation. Or putting fireworks through doors. 1883, my good friend, the 1883 misuse of gunpowder and stuff tells you even if you throw a firework in the street, it's classed as a bomb. They made about 20 Tomahawk rockets, I think they were called, put them all together and set them alight in my car. Explosive device went off. Police never turned up. There was another car 4 or 5 miles away, petrol bombed on a house. And the same night, police turned up at that house. Within 5 minutes, 2 round response, a big pickup recovery truck, and put it on the back and took it away for forensics. The forensics didn't come to my house for days and days and days. And we had the fireworks in the car, which a pyrotechnic means explosives, said they can be traced now. Say they were from Holland. They have barcodes on them that can trace them, and you have to be, I think he said over 21 with a license or a passport or something to buy them. So their name would be on there, and they'd be able to find them. The Cleveland police didn't want to find them because Cleveland police want me fucking out of the way. They'd love to see me get killed, but I've been the thorn on their side for their fucking lifetime, and I'll still be a thorn on your side, Cleveland police, because you're fucking scum. If you did a good thing, you were getting hurt or something, I'd still help you, fucking arseholes. I still wouldn't say it was about 20, 30 young lads on there going to beat 2 young coppers up. And one copper got knocked out. And I jumped in and pulled them apart. I went, fucking leave them alone, you fucking... The coppers, O'Brien. These were all young kids, 15, 16, 17, all like mixed martial arts training kids and that. And getting your fucking cars now, and they all jumped in the cars and went from Tesco's. I saved them. Coppers getting fucking killed that night. And this is the thanks you get. The fucking arseholes. I kept the streets clean in Teesside. I stopped all the black lads coming from different areas who were coming up selling crack from Manchester and Birmingham and Bradford and Luton and London and everywhere. I chased them out of Teesside. I stopped all the fucking... I chased 27 machine guns out of Teesside one Saturday afternoon. Me and Peter O went to see the lad. He had them on the house. Get them the fuck out of our town now. Made them go all the way back to Bradford with them. Took them all the way back to these lads. And we done that. We stopped the firearms on the street. Why do you think Teesside hasn't got as many firearms as other places? Because I stopped them all. The Manchester lads were trying to sell them. The Liverpool lads were trying to sell them. The London lads were trying to sell them. I stopped at Doncaster lads were trying to sell them. The Newcastle lads, Sunderland lads. I wouldn't let them in down here. That's why it was many fisticuffs. That's why Steve Richards said he's got that place down there. He'd run it with an iron fist. He said, "All you shitty dealers and drug dealers and people who are doing drugs, watch out, the tax man's about." And I ran this place for years and years and years. I had all the doors boxed off. I had definitely all the rave scene boxed off, most of the rave clubs. And I run it, and there was people would come in and say to this day, when you had the doors, it was a better place to live, Teesside, because people were happy because you would stop all the trouble. You had to walk in a pub and no one would cause trouble because you were that big, your name. And that's how big you. We never ran around with gangs. You didn't need gangs. You had your own doorman and your own people. But everyone loved you. Everywhere you went in Teesside, people would flock to the pub to see you and sit there all night drinking, having a laugh. We up 2 and 3 days with these type of people. Done it in like Grove Hill, done it in fucking South Bank, done it in Grangetown, done it in fucking Hartlepool, done it all over. Sunderland, Newcastle, everywhere. He's never been anywhere like that and done these things. So he's ripped everyone off, all these good people. Poor Richie Horse, he's had about 400 quid for 4 fucking books in 5 or 6 years. 3 or 4 of the books were bestsellers. He's ripped everyone off. And these fucking mugs are going, "Oh, you're bullying them, you don't." No, I'm not fucking bullying them. You're the horrible, evil man, what you've done to that fucking poor old man, Marty Joseph Turner. Which hurts me more than anything what he did to Marty. Marty was given an award. He would have got it off the Queen, but the Queen was poorly. You had to go to the House of Commons and they give him a medal, a British Standard something it's called, BSAF something it's called, a British Standard Award for outstanding being an outstanding citizen of the community for 44 years training kids and keeping off the streets and keeping kids out of trouble. He absolutely, his wife used to take kids in. He was telling me, he said, my wife and me used to get kids where they have now. We'd take them to the house and get them clothes and stuff. Some of them would be out second-hand shops. And my wife would run them up on the machine and stuff and get the kids clothes and that. And we'd let them stay 4 or 5 kids and take them out for the day in the variety bus and take them for like to the pictures and all that. A bit like you did, Brian, but I did it years before. And I'd see kids went off, and I always love helping kids, he said, especially young lads who weren't fucking getting in trouble. He said, you feel great because you've done a good thing. I said, yeah, because you're a proper staunch 100% man. And if Marty Turner give your word to you, I'm telling you now, on his grave and on my brother's grave, Marty Joseph Turner would stick to his name and stick to his honour. The name is like me. If I give my name to someone and say, listen, I promise you it's going to happen, I'll meet you that day. I won't let you, I'll be there. All my life, I'll meet you. I'll turn up. I won't fucking, and if I don't turn up, I'll have an excuse. I might be in hospital or something. But we had that bond them years ago. Somebody did have trouble in the street. So the Joneses, we fight with the Smiths. I'd say, right, Tommy Jones, you Andy Smith, you fucking behave and you behave. Now shake hands, both of you. Might be 20 in that family and 15 in that family. 35 people. And you want to go start fighting first, I'll be coming looking for you. Or I'll come looking for you. And just shake hands. So fuck that now. We've got to keep friends now. Brian's involved. And that's how we used to do it. We didn't need the police. We didn't phone the fucking police. Police, they phoned me. They phoned me to go and sort it out, not the fucking police. And that's what you can't stand, coppers. Because I did a better job than you did. It was in the newspapers. Who would you phone? The tax man. It was in the Daily Mirror. Who would you phone? The tax man. They had a poll. Who would you phone? The tax man who would get there in 5 minutes. The police might take 5 days. The tax man, because he's got more weapons than the police. The tax man, because what he can do instead of just arresting and warn them, a good hiding off him would be more deterrent than actually being locked up. So they had a poll and I won by a landslide. I got fucking 98% out of 100. They only got fucking 2%. They said, you phone them up and they don't turn up. Or we'll give you a serial crime number. That's no fucking good. No woman in the house was getting raped. Fucking disgusting. You don't even turn up. You're the worst police force. And you run about for a piece of shit there who's put an old man in his fucking early in his grave. He put him in his grave early, that cunt. Yeah, me and Marty had great times. Old school talk. We'd sit for hours and hours. Like we were in. I'm going to put one up. It's in. He'll tell you where he's going. He was the best. He was the best. He's saying about me. It's at the beach. He went. He's the best. He said, "I've already trained one world champion. He's the best." He talk about me and Robbo, and him. He's in a wheelchair. I'm in a wheelchair, and Robbo stood there and they went. Cheeky cunts. They went. It was funny. We were all laughing like we couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't make Matt. He said, "Behave, I've got OCPD." I said, "I'm fucking 40 pieces." I'm like, "I'm Cardo settled. My nuts and bolts are coming out." And we'd sit there, and somebody said, "Looks like fucking last of the summer wine." And Robbo was laughing his head off. And Terry Dick on that. And we had some great times. This was only a couple of years ago. And Marty was not going cuckoo. Marty was not senile. Marty was 100% faculties. So when he asked why he borrowed his phone, "Can I borrow your phone?" He said, "Yeah, of course you can, Jamie," because he was dead generous. He was a lovely man. And he lent him his phone. And because he'd said a few things about him, didn't agree with him, he told me the truth. He must have found out. So he cloned his phone. He sent all the messages to Shirley Pinknickers, Piggy Eyes. Piggy Eyes, who works for the gas board, pretends he works for a legal secretary. You know, you're not a legal secretary. Piggy Eyes, you eat pies all day long. Sticky buns. Nelly the elephant. There's a bun. Fucking gives a bun. Fucking hell. So don't forget to push the like. 48 thumbs up. Come on, guys. Fucking hell's the worst about it. I just want the right. I'll tell you all these good stories here. Don't forget to push the like buttons. Bull for nothing, son. Yeah. So he's given me his phone back. Dennis Powell got the same. Dennis lent him his phone, same type of boxing coach in the same rough area. Grange South Bank. They always had a problem. Grange South Bank lads always fought each other, but they're tough lads there. Them two sets of lads are fucking tough. So Dennis's fucking phone. So he's got Dennis's phone, Dennis Powers. I've never met Dennis. I'd love to meet him, but I will do. I think he's a great man. Terry talks well about him. Marty spoke well about him. So Dennis sent him his phone. So he did the same. He cloned. He sent all the numbers off his phone to fat Shirley Pinknickers. Didn't he? Which I don't think she got because his fucking ass is too big. So fat ass got his phone and found out all the numbers. Do you know what they started doing? You won't believe this. Say it was say me, it would say Matt Legg. It's Matt Legg's missus. His phone shorts me, Brian. Don't tell Matt, but I fancy you. This is like me talking about. It's me. It's don't let Terry know, but you fancy a date. Say Terry's girlfriend's called Leslie. And that's what he was doing, pretending it was Dennis's fault. Dennis doing it. So Dennis was saying, "What are you fucking doing for me?" We said, "It's not me." Anyway, Dennis's his son found out. Dennis's son was going to fucking punch him all over. So Dennis said, "No, leave it." Because he said, "I'll get the police on you." But it was Boyle. Boyle got the phone, cloned the phone, and started pretending, "Oh, it's me, Dennis. Would you fancy a date with me? I fancied you for years." Words to that effect. But they were onto him, the dirty bastard. Now causing trouble between families, people's families, and then he's done the same with Marty. That's how we got Marty's sister's 58-year-old, 83 and 84-year-old, or 84 and 85-year-old. One in Canada, I think it was, in Australia. And he was texting them and saying horrible things to them, vile things. I'm not going to repeat them, but really vile. And they're upsetting them. To the ladies, that was like early hours in the morning, we was phoning them. But over there, it'd be like the daylight over here, it'd be early hours in the morning there. And these are 80-year-old women torturing them. So he was doing that, and he was fucking sending messages to people. So he went to the police, said, "Look, my phone." He said, "I give my phone to someone." He said, and he's cloned my phone because he was getting stuff sent to Marty. But only the person would have got it would have to have the stuff. And I thought, "You must fucking plot you, Marty." So me, him, and Robbo went to a place near Stokesley. It was no Middlesbrough. Sorry, we come from Stokesley, and we went in. And it was we went to BT. So you had to give him the phone for about 4 or 5 days. And with the phone, and Matt said, "Can you come in? We've found out where it's coming from." So he went in with him. I never went in. I think I went in with him and Peter Roberts. He went in and he said, "Who do you know in Stokesley?" And they looked at each other. Fucking, that's where you're from, Boyle. That's where you were from, Boyle. You little fucking rat. And you were cloning his phone and sending him vile pornographic images. Disgusting. Would you like a date with me? And sending him like porn spam and all that stuff. An old man who was 78-year-old. Tortured him just because he said no about the book and took you to court. He asked you for invoices like I did. And you wouldn't give him any because you ripped everyone off, Jamie. You're a con man. So that's what happened, guys. He just ripped everyone off. So that's why we went to court. And that's what he does. Just torture people. He's just evil. Look what he done with Irish Bull. "I'll rape your 8-year-old daughter." Your 8-year-old daughter? I'll just be bummed by Paul Sykes in the film. You're not right in the fucking head. You're twisted in the head. You're definitely twisted in the head. So that old man's not here now, but we're still fighting for him. I'm glad his grandson's come on, because we're going to help him. Whatever they get back, it'll be a bonus to take off him just to go, "There you are. Here's what happened to you." Because it proves Marty wasn't lying, because he was going. He's had all these money. You never got a fucking penny off you. £53 you give him in his bank. I think it was less even. So it was like, say it was 50 quid over 4 years. And the book was doing well. The judge said in the book, he said, "Don't come that with me." He said, "I've looked on the internet search, and our book's doing out of 1 million books, it's ranked in the top 400, which is extremely high." So he said, "Don't tell me that. Even in America and Australia, it's doing well." So the judge was onto him. Well, obviously, he's passed away now, but the court case, I'm sure, is up in July. I'm sure Kevin said July, but I'll get Kevin's number. I'll send it to his grandson, and I'll let them sort it out. But I'll keep me apprised with it, and I'll keep contact with his son. So, right, guys, don't forget to push the like buttons, and thank you for tonight. I'm going to have something to eat. I've got a bit of chicken upstairs. We've got 10 pieces of chicken today. I've had 7 of them. Emma's had 1, Bobby's had 2. So now I've got 2 pieces left. Sorry, I have 7. I've got 2 left. So this is what he's done. He's ripped not just me, old people off, torturing old people. He's horrible. And then one little thing, he'll go, "You shouldn't torture people's wives and children. You haven't got children. You have, but you've never seen them. You've never seen your own grandkids because your daughter won't let you see the kids." Red flag. Yeah. The father of Shirley's kids won't let them in your house. Red flag. You're not allowed. The kids aren't there. 14 and 15-year-olds went and stayed with the dad instead of going with the mum. So that means she's obviously a bad mum. Yeah. Tommy said, "I've done 3 times. No charge at all." Yeah, he's fucking horrible. He had me fucking in tears the other week. Fucking, he said, "Oh, Steve Mack's just been sent up for 3 years. You sick fucking pit bull." And Steve Mack's the lovest kid you get ever meet. And I was thinking, it was his little daughter. No, she's only 14-year-old. I thought. So me and him, I said, well, she's not fucking staying on her own. I know she's got a grandma and all that. She'll fucking be coming here. I don't give a fuck what anyone says, so I'll go and get it myself. And anyway, a couple of days later, he phoned me. He'd been away. Got my eyes filled up with Marty. But yeah, horrible bastard what he done to that old man. Pure pond life. Pure pond life. And he talked to poor Steve Mackham, and Steve went to see him. Said, why are you saying things about my fucking relation who's no longer here? 33 years ago, upset my granddaughter. So I saw you upset my daughter. She didn't even know these things until you opened your fucking mouth. I'll get the place on you. That's all he ever does. He's a fucking rat. He's offering people out. You go to fight and he funds the place. So just go, please, guys, don't go and fight him because he'll just get the place on you. He loves getting the place. Every day he's phoned. I've got the other day, Paul, I phoned the authorities again. This violable man's threatened. He's attacked my son now, he said. Wait a minute, you said I attacked him. You said I would threaten him with a knife. Now you're saying I've attacked him. You'll make your fucking mind up. You're just a compulsive liar. Right, I'm off. And thank you. Well, that's God, that young Ty coming on. What a treat that was there to get him on there. There's proof and everything. The young kid, don't even know the kid. That was unbelievable. I think that's how God comes and does good things. Jesus has intervened there to prove to the whole world. I'm not lying about Morton Matt and Joseph Turner. Teddy Dick will come on. He said the same. So why would everyone be lying about you, Jamie? Why is it? What have we all got against you? You've ripped us all off. That's what you've done. And you're sitting there pretending you haven't ripped us off. I went to court and I walked free, Shirley said. No, you didn't, Shirley. You're a liar. So why don't you get me charged for this, what I'm doing now? You can't, because it's truth. Tommy Robinson. Right, guys, thank you very much. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see if I can find that thing with Decker calling me, threatening me with the police. And also, let's see if I can get hold of Matt and Joseph Turner's statement. Matty from the grave, this will fucking destroy you, you horrible fucker. Matty would be reeling this over the moon, but we're still standing here for him. I'll never back down to anyone. When I'm called Matty Turner, they have to get fucking past me first. And believe me, fucking hard to get past. But that fucker, he's tortured people. And when they found him out and they fucked him off, he's tortured them on the internet phones and everything. Just tortured people, phoning the dole on people, grass people for the dole. He's fucking vile, he is. He's on the dole himself, ripping the people off. And he's pretending he's called, I work 7 days a week. No, you don't. You don't work 1 day a week. You're full of shit. Right, guys, I'm going to go and I'll see you soon. Look at that. Yeah, I'm getting better.